Oh, hang on. My phone is in the kitchen, Poppy. I'm sorry. Let me grab my phone, you guys. Okay. My phone was in the kitchen. I put it on the counter when I fed the little kitty cats. Well, they're not little kitty cats anymore. Believe me. There is a lot of snow here. I know everybody else is getting snow too. Poppy, you need to save your battery. Unless you're on your laptop. But you are staying warm, right? Hey, cool. Nice. That's all you need, a generator and a fireplace. Food in the fridge. Hey, Angie's Life. Yeah, I don't have a generator, but I do need to get one. Definitely need to get one. So we're just going to talk about whatever you guys want, really. I'm going to talk about a couple of cases here. I do have one that is very important. And this is very scary. Hey, Chris. May, what do you mean you haven't seen snow for years? Hold on and I'll tell you. Let's get it correct, Chris, if we're going to do it. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Hold on. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And I may do a RC After Dark and have a discussion about that organization. You don't have any snow, it's just cold. Wow. Nope, we just got a lot of snow. And it's beautiful outside, but it's very dangerous. That's what I don't want is the ice. I can do without the ice. Don't like it. So, there is a missing child. He's been missing about 2 weeks. They believe he traveled to New York City to meet someone he met on Roblox. Roblox is a game, I guess you would call it, for young'uns. Kind of, I don't know. You know, you got the games like Minecraft and Roblox and, you know, there's a whole slew of them. No, it isn't good, So mom says that this young man has never left his family ever. He's 15 years old. His name is Thomas Medlin. He went missing after traveling into Manhattan from his Long Island, New York school on January 9th. I would not go to New York City by myself. I couldn't imagine a 15-year-old going into a freaking city like that by themselves. They think he was going to meet somebody he met on Roblox. There is extreme weather in New York right now because it's everywhere right now. But New York, it's really cold. And if you want to know how cold, I can show you, because our one and only Ernie Shell is there, and, you know, he's for the people. So he's hanging out around, you know, different places where they're protesting. And he says it's really cold. So I'm sure it's cold. I couldn't believe that. We'll figure that out after we get the rest of this information out. So he's been missing for about 2 weeks. They can't find him. He left school around 3:30 on Monday, January 12th. He was last seen at Grand Central Station around 2 hours later at around 5:30. I've never been to New York. I really don't know if it's somewhere that I feel that in these late stages of my life that I need to go there. I'm just saying. I can Google it. I can pull it up on my TV. I can pull it up on my phone. I don't necessarily have to go there personally. I'm just saying. Scary that a 15-year-old would leave their home to go meet someone that they met on social media. Exactly, May May. And there is I'm not even sure what to call them. They're called the 764. I think I've started to talk about them before. But that would have to be an after dark too, for sure. You did go one time, Poppy? They're trying to ban it in the UK. You know, it's like anything else. I guess not all of it's bad, and but I always go back to, do you guys remember the case we talked about? The parents were very vigilant on watching this girl's social media, and you know, it didn't work out real well. She still went missing. So this is the last known picture. They got a really good picture of him. He's wearing a backpack, holding a large object while walking on what appears to be the New York City subway train platform. Never been away from home ever. That's scary. Hey, Jackie. Jackie's in the house. Hey, Mr. A. Right? never been away from home. And not only is he going to the city by himself, but he's taking the subway by himself. Not good. Scary. So hopefully I'm sure law enforcement has his devices and will hopefully find him. He's 5 feet 4 inches tall. He weighs 130 pounds. Last seen wearing a black jacket with red stripes, dark sweatpants with white stripes, a black backpack, and glasses. They traced his location to around Cherry and Rutgers Streets in Lower Manhattan. Later, Sands and J Street in Brooklyn, Long Island. Still not been heard of. They believe he became acquainted with somebody through Roblox. Now, Roblox, a spokesperson states, Roblox is built with safety at its core, including robust policies to help protect users that go beyond many other platforms. They state they have filters designed to block the sharing of personal information. They don't allow user-to-user image or video sharing. That's cool. While no system is perfect, our commitment to safety never ends, and we continue to evolve and strengthen our protections every day. And no, Roblox, no, sorry, I'm not doing an ad here for him, I can tell you that. Kids think it won't happen to them because they aren't stupid, but don't realize these people have been doing this for years and know exactly what they are doing. Absolutely, May. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, I don't know. I think with him, it's the point that he's only 15 and he hasn't been away from home before. So that kind of makes you just uncomfortable, period. Obviously, he's not possibly street smart, and that in itself is very concerning. And we see it all the time where it's like over the last 10 years or less, people started keeping their children home from school. It was easy to hand them a telephone or, yeah, I'm probably being way gracious saying 10 years. I'm just so old, I just remember things as they happen. So, a lot of parents used and still use social media as a babysitter. And I'm not saying they all do that. Nobody needs to, get all twisted about it. But yes, it's easier to put a child in front of a computer, in front of a TV, in front of a cell phone, keep their little minds occupied for hours. Occupied for hours. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to New York if I was with a big group of people. I wouldn't want to go by myself. I just wouldn't want to go by myself. I would be scared. Okay, so the family doesn't know why he left, and they are wanting him to come home. Oh, sorry, I keep. So this is Thomas Medlin. Please keep your eyes out for him. Please, please, please. If you see him, please call 911, whatever area you are in. Call 911 immediately. Very important, people. Very important. For sure. For sure, for sure. And I will do my best to keep you guys updated. Now, I'm bad about updates, and let me tell you what, because I in 1 hour live stream, I could talk about hundreds of missing children. So sometimes I've even talked about a case and got it mixed up with another case before. Okay. He's got I want to go to Scotland. That is one place. I've always wanted to go to Scotland, and I've always wanted to go to Transylvania. Who doesn't want to go to Transylvania? I do. I want to see where Dracula lived. Go to that castle and check it out. The closest I got to castles is when I lived in Germany. There's some pretty gnarly castles over in Germany too. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Okay. But very, 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 very scary. I hope that they find him quickly. I really do. And obviously, he's not going to call his parents. Okay, you guys, we haven't done this for a while, and I have the link to this channel. I already put it in chat. It's in the description. Our Eagles. You guys, we haven't checked out our Eagles for a freaking long time. Look at them. I think that they just laid eggs. Did they lay? Here, let me see. Hold on. Jackie and Shadow, stunning delayed incubation secrets. Oh, so yes. Yes, aren't they beautiful? Should I play God Bless America for us? Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her. For sure. Aren't they beauty? They are beautiful. Beautiful. For sure. Okay, so on Southwest Florida, on what? Southwest Florida. I will do that, Poppy. Hey. I like real life stuff over here. Disheartening that kids can get enticed away from home by switching in a game. It is very frightening. It is very frightening. And when you have kids who are kept at home 24/7, no social skills whatsoever, and their only friends are individuals that they can't even physically look at, that is just horrific. Then the conversations become, I mean, this is just the way I feel about it. It becomes an emotional conversation. You're taking, this is just fact. There are grown ass adult men and women out there, both. Okay? And they're pretending that they're not adults. They're pretending that they're children because you're not seeing them. You're not seeing them. You don't know. You really don't. They're having other children contact children, and usually it starts with them trying to get an inappropriate picture of a young kid, and then it goes from there. Then you have young children who are basically being blackmailed over something that their minds aren't even old enough to process, that no, you shouldn't be doing this. And it goes from there. And it goes from there. It's bad. But like I said, you know, we'll have to do that on an after dark session. For real. Because it is bad. So let me put this link in here. We are going to talk about a man that is doing prison time for stealing and selling human remains. Human remains. Hold on here. Definitely want to give him credit. Now I heard this from, I think Flies told me about it, and then Lady K talked about it the other night. She did. Okay, hold on. You know what just popped into my head? This is so weird. Why did I think about Olivia Newton-John? My mind just went to Olivia Newton-John. That's so weird. A song that I sang in church with my friend. That's fucking weird. That is weird. Here, I'll play it real quick. We need a little pick-me-up. Let me find it. I'm not going to sing it for you, though. No, my throat is fried. Let's see. And I don't even know why we sang this song in church. It's freaking weird. But music of today is nothing like it was back in the day when we had Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta doing weird stuff. Oh, I'll wait. We'll play it a little bit better. Yeah, thank you, Marie. That was a one and done. I can't sit and freaking dwell on the shit. Right? No need to. I mean, it still upsets me, but just needed to get it out and poop, throw it away. A one and done. For sure. I wouldn't mind if there was a Granny Stiller about. I would camp in his garden and with a sign saying pick me. That is funny, May May. May May. Okay, so did I put the link in? Yes, this is CBS 21 News, and they have an interview with the individual that I am talking of. I will turn closed caption on. I am going to speed it up a tad bit. And yes, I am a commentary channel over here, so, you know, if I stop it and I say something, that is why. I know people get aggravated because they're like, why do you have to talk through it? Well, I don't know. Ask YouTube.
To 21 Next, and we have a special edition of 21 Next today because we're breaking down an exclusive interview with Jeremy Pauley, the man who made national headlines for his role in what federal prosecutors called a multi-state ring of buying and selling stolen body parts, and he appealed that. So now we have some updates, and I want to bring in our assistant news director, Tyler Deskey, because he was the one who actually sat down with Jeremy Pauley. Tyler, can you just...
Jeremy Pauley, when they went into his home, there were actually let's just say he was hanging up human remains in his garage or his basement or something like that. Like it was a medical school. Right? Thanks,
recap this case a little bit for some people who might not understand or have been following the whole time.
Yeah, so Alex, this is a case that goes back about 3.5 years. It started in 2023 when Jeremy Pauley, who you see there, was arrested in Cumberland County. Prosecutors say he had buckets of human remains that were eventually found to have been stolen from Arkansas and from Harvard Medical School.
I wonder how they knew. Okay, so basically, when they found the remains, they would have had to have tested those remains to... Now, I could see Harvard Medical School, their donations, they're all on paper, or I'm sure they have a file on whose remains they have because they are a medical school and people donate their remains to different organizations, and they do. They really do. I mean, how would you get human remains to start with? Unless somebody gave you theirs, right? Where would a human remains come from? Right? Somebody would have had to have said, hey, I got these, I'll give them to you. But how did they get them? Right? Wow. Wowsy.
He eventually pleaded guilty to interstate transport of stolen property and conspiracy to commit the same crime. and there's just been a lot over the past couple years that we've been following through this. Like you said, I recently got to sit down with him. He's actually in prison now. He
wow.
started a 6-year prison term.
6 years this dude got. Six years. Now, the almighty question is, and obviously he got 6 years, did he actually know that these remains were stolen? Or did he just not care? Right? What, I mean, who, I don't understand that because, well, I guess there's a, I'm sure a black market on selling human remains. There's a black market for everything else, right?
And he is appealing that case.
And he was appealing that case for a specific reason too. I mean, obviously Jeremy Pauley has a unique appearance that we can all see in this video. There was something about the spikes in his head potentially being contraband in prison, right?
Yeah. So he's got all these like spike things in his freaking head. He can't have those spike things in his head in prison. Now, I do not want to say what could happen to those spike things in his head if another prisoner decided that they wanted one of those spike things in his head to use for something besides a freaking head ornament. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, so that I wouldn't say that, but what happened was recently, the most recent thing with this is that his attorney had asked for a 30-day delay to in his sentencing so that they could get some of those transdermal plants out.
Wow.
Basically saying that they wanted to make sure they were safely out of there. That order was actually denied, so now he is in prison. He turned himself into federal custody at 2 p.m. on Friday, or a little bit beforehand, is what his attorney told me. So now he is beginning this present sentence. He is appealing it, trying to get it lessened. But really, Alex, the big thing here is just his story now. He's gone on several.
He does do an interview.
That, he spoke to about this case. You see him there. We spoke over Zoom a couple of days ago, and I think what a lot of people probably will surprise a lot of people is how well spoken he is.
Right.
And he never knew
and that's weird, right? Because looking at him, what do you see when you look at that guy? What do you see when you look at him? Because I'm sure a lot of people are looking at the tattoos and, because of the circumstances, they're like, this guy is, bad news or whatever. Is it creepy that somebody purchases human remains? Absolutely. Absolutely. But the only thing, if you're not keeping them, then you're selling them. Right? What is the fascination with it, I wonder? I guess it'd be one thing if you had a well-known skull, but what purpose is it? I don't know.
He claims he never knew that any of this stuff was stolen. Not until police came to his door. He was no longer living in that Enola house that was raided. They actually came to his new house, knocked on his door and said, "Hey, we got to talk about some of this stuff in your collection." And that's really where all this kind of spiraled out of control for him. He had been following along. It's not illegal to own body parts. It's not illegal to have a skull or something like that.
Right.
What was illegal about this is that they were stolen and that they were taken from different anatomical gift programs. For those who don't.
So if they knew that they were stolen, then they knew who had them before this guy got them. Because if not, then they're saying that this guy actually went and stole them himself, right? The one yes, May, I seen that one too. They were getting them from the cemetery. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't know what that is. Basically, when you donate, if you are one of those people who want to donate your body to science after you pass away, it goes to a medical school, their anatomical gift program. They will use that body, they'll use your organs, whatever, for science, for research, all that type of stuff. And then once they're done with the body, they cremate it and send the remains back to the family. And what was happening is those body parts were being stolen right before they were set to be cremated. And some of those body parts did make their way to Jeremy Pauley, and he says he never knew about this. He had gone through legitimate ways of getting body parts. He still goes through legitimate ways of buying body parts. And for him, it was just a lot. He talks about how he was really just dumbfounded by this, and how he never expected this to happen. He said people, a woman in Arkansas who was also charged in this case, she was the one who reached out to him.
And you were one of the first people to talk to Jeremy Pauley. We've been covering.
So, yeah, I guess if you and your friends are people that go in and, decide you're going to take a trip to the cemetery late one night and you're going to dig up someone's remains and it's for the purpose to sell them, you're going to go on a site that sells human remains. You're going to see who possibly will buy them from you, just like you would anything else.
This for a really long time. So it was exciting. We were able to actually sit down with him and ask him about this. What were some of the other things that you were able to talk to him about in terms of why he was acquiring these body parts to begin with? I know he mentioned something about them potentially just being disposed of and his particular interest in the body parts.
Yeah. So Alex, what he's essentially saying that he's continuing what that purpose was. He wants to create and do and make these things better for future people who are using them. So what I mean by that is he says he's come up with this new crestination process, which essentially means giving them a longer life, giving stuff a longer lifespan after someone has passed away, so that way medical institutions can use them longer. That's some of the stuff that he's been doing. He was actually going to donate some of that research to.
Oh, so he's been doing research. Okay, did you guys just hear that? Dude said he's doing research on how to prolong human remains after I'm confused. Tell me if, all right, you guys gotta freaking come in chat and tell me what the benefit would be to, after someone passes away, I would think that you're gonna have natural decomp. Why would it be to make, if they're bones, why would you? He's figuring out a way to turn the bones into a type of plastic for them to last longer. Am I fucking confused here? I'm sorry. You guys know how I am. You know how I am.
Lifespan after someone has passed away, so that way medical institutions can use them longer. That's some of the stuff that he's been doing. He was actually going to donate some of that research to local police, biology schools and stuff like that. That was that's what he says he was using them for. He also has a museum. He and his fiance Sophie, who you guys see there in the video, they run a shop. They run a curiosities shop out in Honesdale, which is in Wayne County. It's near the New York border.
Okay, so he's got a little sideshow. Dude's got a little sideshow with remains that people would be curious about.
And they talk about preservation. They talk about talking about how they want to, express how our relationship with death has changed, and that what we look at maybe in today's day and age isn't how it's always been viewed, and they want to respect that. They really focus on that.
Find a Planet Fitness
Yeah,
near you.
I always did. The last time I hung out in a graveyard, it was freaky. It was freaky. It really was. Really, really. Hold on. Got a commercial. Got a commercial. Yeah, that was the last time I ever went to a cemetery. It was dark. Me and this girl went to sit down, and for some reason that headstone was loose, and yeah, it had the person's name was my first name. It was creepy. I didn't like it. I never went back to a cemetery. Ever. Ever, ever. But I always did like going to cemeteries and, hanging out, looking at the old tombstones and different things like that. Yep. Now, I was never one to go to the graveyard and take a Ouija board or, try to invoke spirits. No. Wasn't into that at all. Now, here we have Main Street Graveyard. Supposed to be one of our, scariest graveyards. They have, I believe they've, after all these years, have changed the access to the actual cemetery, because here what they did was, in a lot of cemeteries, the different areas, the very back of Main Street Graveyard is the actual older part of the cemetery. So, and then more towards the road was, they kind of turned that into, previous passings. May, why you cussing? May, switch it up, girl. For sure. Oh, let me find myself here. May, you're a mod. You know better. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying there, May. Well, I know for a fact I've had some really real haunting shit go on in my life. But when I heard that heartbeat, that one time I heard that heartbeat, that was it for me. I was really young then. I was pretty young. I was. I'll show you guys what he looks like, for sure.
Of this is in the interview, he told me that they find ways to help families who are grieving free of charge. So he tells me this one story about how a woman came up to him. Her son had passed away. She had his remains, and she had asked Jeremy and Sophie if they could turn his her son's ashes into guitar picks, and they did that for her free of charge.
Wow. So this guy, Jeremy, Hold on, I'm going to show you a close-up of Jeremy. So Jeremy takes remains and oh, here he is. Ooh, Jeremy's even got his eyeball done. Have you guys ever seen somebody that has tattooed the whites of their eyes? That's kind of creepy. Doesn't mean something's wrong with the guy. Okay? Just means he tattooed the whites of his eyes.
Sophie told me another story about how they had a woman come up to them and they made a pendant out of one of their out of her I think the remains of her stillborn, so that way this woman could always have her daughter with her, even though she never really got a chance to fully meet her. So,
but these are people who are giving him the ashes of their loved ones, so they know who these people are. It's getting ashes of, it would be weird to get somebody else's ashes of their family member, I couldn't imagine.
helping these families find ways to grieve and work through their grief is one of the things that they've really worked on.
Wow, that's super interesting, especially because it's such a nuanced way to talk about death and to talk about grief. And, you know, one of the other things that we've been focusing on this whole time, like you just mentioned too, was the oddity shop. Are they still going to be running that? Is Sophie, his fiance, still going to be running that while he's in prison?
Exactly. Yeah. They said she's going to continue it. They're still planning to keep it open. We have the link to their website actually on our website, a couple of the stories that we've done.
And I dropped a link to this, you guys, so you can go to their website if you want.
And they have, they say that everything that they've acquired there has been through, is all through legitimate leads, through osteology warehouses, through different estate sales and stuff like that. They say they have all of the paperwork and stuff. That's the website there. I think it's a Wunderkammer.
Okay.
I think it's how it's like a German.
Yeah, German.
But yeah, that's the website there. And
wow. Maybe we'll go to
really
the website.
Interesting. You know, like I said, it's not illegal to have body parts. So
no, it isn't illegal to have body parts, you guys, but obviously they had to have had you know, some type of proof, right? Hey, Linda. He did plead guilty to interstate transport of stolen property and conspiracy to commit interstate transport of stolen property. So he pled guilty. If he wasn't guilty, why would he plead guilty? He got 6 years. There is a 45-minute interview that he does with CBS 21. Actually, I'll pull it up, see if we can't. All right. Should just pull that up to start with. This is CBS, 12. The link is in the chat. Check it out if you want. This is the actual conversation. So let's hear what the dude has to say. But why would you plead guilty if you wasn't freaking guilty? They say it's not illegal to have body parts, May.
I've been going through a lot for the past couple years. Why did you guys decide
3.5 years?
We're finally able to.
Yeah. I mean, what people don't realize is, for 3.5 years, I'm fighting this case, and I can't risk saying anything publicly that could potentially be used in a detrimental way in my case.
And let me tell you, this dude is very smart for realizing that. People get angry and they come out on social media and, their emotions get the better of them and they start basically a lot of times telling on themselves, right? So, but yes, this case has been going on for like 3.5 years. 3.5 years.
So it was just a matter of waiting.
So now that we've gotten to this point, what is the one thing that you want people to know?
I think the main thing is the understanding that the oddities community, as it's called, isn't an egregious thing. It isn't as demonized as the normal folk make it out to be. I think people once upon a time, we had a very great relationship with death. We kind of honored the dead in a very different way, and we looked at it in a very different way. And as we kind of moved more towards our
I don't know,
more modern approach to funerary laws and all that, we kind of...
I showed you guys one, I don't know what I was talking about, but I was talking to you guys about how they're displaying human remains at funerals. I know you guys remember that. Let me see if I can hold on. I'm gonna try to find it. They're putting people in like Weekend at Bernie's. Let me find it. It's wild. Let me see if I can find it. It's freaking wild. Oh, yeah, there's a whole Vice thing. Here, let me see if I can find some. Let me see what I can find. Here's a picture of one. Look at this, you guys. Seriously. Hold on, let me see if I can. Oh, hold on. Freaking. Oh, here we go. Let's see if they show it. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. All right. I don't know if I should say trigger warning or what, but here we go. Maybe.
Burbank loved a cold beer and an occasional scotch. She loved the New Orleans Saints, and if she wasn't on her porch, the party girl, affectionately called May May, would frequent the city's neighborhood
Oh,
bars.
no.
She gets down.
Oh, no. Did you
53,
guys
she's
hear
not
that?
a normal 53.
So it's only fit.
Oh, shit. Hang on. This is weird. Her name is May 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 May.
fitting that all of it be captured as part of her homegoing.
I didn't want her to just go, so I had to do something amazing, so she's never forgotten.
Burbank's daughters
That's
had a vision and
wild.
presented it to funeral directors at Charbonnet.
They said that, they didn't want a traditional religious type service, that she was just one of those people that just enjoyed life, enjoyed living, just enjoyed people.
Burbank is sitting at a table wearing Saints colors. Her
Oh my God. Can you guys believe that? I'm not going to play the whole thing. Lord have mercy. Oh, let me get back to my Eagles for a minute. Lord have mercy. Okay, what would you have if your family did that to you? What would you want to be doing? And no, don't make it perverted, okay? For real. Do not make it perverted. Be nice about it. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. I had to run and fill my coffee cup up. You would want to go on a world cruise? Yes. Heck yeah, Mimi. Yep. Why not? Yeah, but I mean, after you're passed away, couldn't you kind of do that without your remains having to be there? You know, because when you pass away, you can go wherever you want, right? I have people on my haunt hit list. I really do. Hold on. Our little eagles are getting ready to run away on us. So the men had an organization, him and his fiance, girlfriend, wife, and they would show some of the remains that they had in a little, sideshow where people could come in and check them out. They also took the ashes of individuals and made whatever the family wanted, wanted to be made out of their loved ones' remains. He pled guilty to basically buying and selling stolen remains. He is serving 6 years. He is going to, of course, appeal. I don't understand that. Maybe sometimes at some time I'll research that on how, I guess there's many different reasons to appeal, of course, a conviction. How does that, we talked about the Shelby Shell trial, right? Right? So thank you, flies. Oh, cool. Yes. Thank you. Now, so whatever he's going to appeal, whatever he's going to use to appeal would have to be different, right? Than the charges that he pled guilty on. So, but he had been fighting it for 3.5 years. He does have a YouTube. I'm glad you remind me of that, Blythe. I just pulled it up. Hold on. He does have a YouTube, and he writes music. I wonder if that's copyright-free music. Okay, hang on 1 second. Oh, boy. Oh, damn it. Okay. But he definitely he's got a YouTube channel. It's called Jonathan Gerlich. And he's got 100 subscribers. And he's musical. He writes music. You say it is. Some are freaky. We can try it. All I can do is cut it out, right? We'll check it out. We'll see. Let's just listen, see what kind of music it actually is. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It does kind of sound like Queensryche, Wise.
2 years later, and we still find the time to talk through all the messes that we've made, different paths we chose to walk. And I still remember feeling your heartbeat.
Okay.
Lying naked on my chest.
That's weird. That is weird. Are they your Eagles? No, they are not. Nothing compares to the Eagles. You think he's alien-like? Bird blind as wild. Yeah, that's what I was playing. Blind bird. This is crazy. Lying on it. What?
Another thing that we did best, but it's all over now. I still sleep on the same mattress, and it's bigger now. But you're not on it.
What? Oh my God. All right, that's a song if you want to hear it. Please feel free to go check him out. Actually, I'll pop over and we will make sure that I drop his link. We're going to drop your link, sir. I will go in. Oh, no, right there it is. That's the one you were talking about. Hold on, we'll check it out. Hold on, Flies, we'll check it out. Okay, wait. Oh. All right, there's the link to this channel. All right, let's check this song out. Oh, hold on. We'll speed it up a little bit.
We don't just want to be loved, but it's never enough. We take what we get and then we move on.
What?
We don't just want to be loved. We try to pursue until the feeling's gone and then we move on. Afraid to expose what lies beneath the skin. We hide behind walls because we're scared to commit.
That would probably be a really pretty song if it wasn't for the screaming. Lord have mercy. What? What? Yeah, that's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Wow. Crazy. Crazy people. Okay. Now, for real. Just because he writes and sings and screams creepy music and, you know, he kind of looks like he you know, is from he's half alien, and he pled guilty to receiving and, you know, the remains. Got 6 years. Does it make him a high level creepy guy? That's what I'm going to ask. Does it make him a high level creepy guy? No, I never heard of him until now. Until now. Okay, hold on, please. Hold on. Let's pull it up. What is it? It's called Beautiful Womb. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. This is Beautiful Womb. Oh no. Hold on. Commercial. So I am going to have to do it this way. Can you hear it?
Has anyone ever told you that since day 18 of your conception, when your heart started fluttering?
Okay, hold on. This is what we're gonna do. Let me make sure. I don't know if this live's monetized or not. We'll just go for it today. Let me pull this up. Let me pull it up. All right, let me turn off the monetization. Let's just get freaky right now. Why not? Why the fuck not? All right, let's hear this one. Hold on, I just freaking had it. Okay. Let me share it again. I want to make sure everybody can hear it. Ain't got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose. For real. All right. This is Jonathan Gerlach. Blind Bird. Beautiful Womb.
You were made beautiful. You were made flawless. Every molecule in your body was perfectly aligned, and in that womb you were made whole. You were a most beautiful creation. A living and breathing manifestation of this brilliant energy that surrounds us all. You captured it all and encased it in such an impossibly small and flawless frame. But these days you can't see yourself that way. Your world has convinced you that within that sacred womb you were damaged, that somehow you were created to be less than divine.
Okay. So sounds to me like it's a song about being in the womb and, you know, you were destined for your life to be shit, right? It's what it sounds like. For sure. For sure. There was a woman who was living at her husband's grave until somebody came to help her. That's weird. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, he's doing his time, and the thing about it is I would have to go over and look because, you know, he probably got time served, and he probably also is going to get good time. he may be only doing, if he had been fighting it for 3.5 years, I'm sure there's going to be time taken off of that. But why aren't they talking about the individuals that were receiving stolen property and, obviously was selling it too? Where are they? Why didn't they get in trouble? Or if they did, why is nobody talking about them? For sure. That's just like a fucking creeper who's got shit, horrible videos about children and different things like that. They get them from somewhere, right? So you talk about Sherfy Jr., Don Sherfy Jr., from the Beach Creek area or wherever he's from. Daddy's girlfriend lived in Beach Creek. Daddy was living with her. He was caught with all that stuff. Where did he get all that stuff? Frank Light was caught with, allegedly an SD card with bad things. Where did he receive those things? You don't hear about that side of it. I mean, you hear about these people, right? And other people. Those are just the two that popped in my head as an example. They're getting these things from somewhere. For sure. All right. This is a story about a widow who was staying at her husband's gravesite. That is so sad. Okay, let's see what's going on.
It took up residence at the only place she felt she owned, her husband's grave.
Hey, you pay for those plots, right? You pay for the plots. If you became homeless, could you use your little plot as a place to lay your head every night, being alive? Now, I'm surprised the cemetery allowed it. That surprises me that the cemetery would allow it. How sad is that? That is so freaking sad. But she absolutely owns it. Wow, that's nuts. Well, thank goodness that she has somewhere she's living now. Bless her heart. People probably never think about that, right? If you pay for a cemetery plot, that is your property. That is your property. The cemetery has people come in to take care of those plots, right? But, wow. That is so sad. People don't realize that, many times when someone passes away, the heaviness of, if that individual was the main caretaker in the home, that means everything is gone. Whatever you did together, it is placed on the surviving family member. It's not easy. It's not. So I wish that on nobody. I wish that on nobody at all. I can see why she felt the way that she did. Me too. Me too. I remember a time, and this is a weird story, but me and Todd had Chad was just a baby. He was just a baby. And Pammy was, let's see, my kids are like 7 and 8 years apart. 6, 7, 8 years apart. And we were in a store and we were buying some stuff, and I had went ahead and walked out the store. They had rung us up. Todd paid for something. Pammy came outside and had something in her hand that they never scanned. So she just a little girl and she walks out with something in her hand. I remember, saying, wait a minute, we paid for it, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. But there was this guy, and he comes up to me and he's like asking me if I, believe in God, and what I did, he thought was, the right way to go, because I didn't just let her walk away with it. We actually went back in and paid for it. It was just really strange. And I'll never forget it for some reason. I can even, in my mind, all these years later, still remember what the guy looked like. So then I had taken Pammy to this park. There's a big lake, not really a lake, it's more like a great big pond, has koi fish in it and stuff. And I had taken Pammy down closer to the water, to see the carp and the koi fish or whatever, and I couldn't get back up the hill. I started to panic a little bit, thinking, how am I going to get her back up this freaking, this hill? The same guy, and this was weeks later, the same guy showed up and helped me get her up, and he was just gone. I mean, the guy just poof, was freaking gone. It was the same guy, and I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. Before I could even say thank you for helping me get her up there and me getting up there, the guy was just gone. Just gone. I remember I was in a, I don't know if it was a psychics chat or whatever, and I remember asking them if something about if you could, see angels on earth or something. And I remember that the guy told me no. And I'm like, are you for real? Are you sure? Right? Now, luckily, that is what happened. Yeah, for sure, Eve. For sure. That is just sad. It is. That is a sad little story there. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can go check out that guy's YouTube for real. That's freaking crazy. That's just screaming. That is just screaming. For sure. For real, for real. I was watching all kinds of stuff. Craziness. Crazy. But I don't know. I guess we will see if Do you know the name of the church that the ladies prayed and the man built a stairwell? It had no support. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. We'll find out. Hey, Mama Bear. We shall see. There's a couple of those supposedly in the woods that, hold on, I'll tell you. Okay. It is called the Miraculous Staircase. Well, that's 19th century. According to legend, a mysterious carpenter arrived, built it in 3 months, vanished without payment. Experts still marvel at its design, with some attributing to it, to St. Joseph. Oh, is that the one you're talking about? It's at Loretto's Chapel, called Loretto's Chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Yeah. It's in Santa Fe. It's in the Loretto Chapel. For sure. Now, I was going to give an update on the Jennifer and Adriana Wicks case today. I'm going to do that by itself. That's a case I started to cover a long time ago, and I actually did a part 1. Her sister was supposed to contact me over doing a part 2. She never contacted me again. So part 1 of that is out there, but I'll talk about that by itself, and give an update on that. The father of the person that they, they felt had actually done something, he passed away. They found his remains. So the family is actually suing this individual. So that's on the table. We'll find out. I want to show you guys something funny right now, though. Let's switch it up a little bit. This is Benny's. Here, let me drop Benny's link. Let me drop the Benny Keys link. And this is so funny. This actually made me laugh. It made me laugh. And I appreciated it. For real. For real. For reals, for reals. Check this out. Watch this, you guys. This is so funny. This is Ziggy. Ziggy's getting her groove on right here, okay?
Jesus.
That was so funny, you guys. That was so funny. I laughed my ass off. That was a good one. That was, yeah, white girl moves for sure. No doubt about that. No doubt. Girl, I'm telling you, I'm being nosy, but no, I don't want to be nosy. I don't want to know. I do not want to know what y'all are doing. I don't. I did, but then I didn't. For sure. This is funny. Okay, let's do some fun stuff over here. Okay, hold on. Let me get out these tabs. Let me get. I got something funny. This is so funny. I have been trying to get funny stuff up. Watch this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my clips. Let me pull up my clips. Okay, I have to find it. Hang on. Okay, shit. Where is it? Did I mess it up? Did I mess it up? Hold on, because I got to do it together. I have to do it together for it to make sense. And it's funny. Damn it. Dang it. What in the world have I done? What in the world have I done? Okay, hang on. What the fuck did I do? All right, hang on. No, YouTube hasn't got a hold of me yet, so I'll hopefully get that shit taken care of. For real. Where is it? Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me pull my history up. Oh, here it is. I got it. Hold on. This is funny. I'm not even a clippity clip person. Okay, so hopefully I can set this up. With this clip. I'm practicing. All right, this is... I'm learning. This is funny. I was listening to Lippy. Lippy's got a live out. It's from a while back, though. I'm going to drop the link. And in this live... Which, thank you, Lippy, because it was very educational. It was. So in this live, Tiffany and Nicolina are having a conversation. Now, which is very interesting. They are talking about Mr. Keys and his trouble. But that's not, I clipped this because I thought it was funny. Okay? Don't get mad, Nicolina. It's all in fun. Okay? You got your email. Oh, about my channel? I know. Well, unfortunately, there's just nothing I can do about it. So, you know, I just have to buckle down and start, you know, monetizing all my stuff. That's all I can do. Because if they take away my membership, that, you know, my memberships, that's, even though my memberships are, you know, $1.99, that still takes away from, you know, what I make off of that every month. For sure. So, and honest to goodness, YouTube, the ads don't pay anything. You can get 1,000 views off something and make 40 something cents off of it, right? So No, but I think I am gonna pull up YouTube. I'm gonna check out Rumble. I'm gonna check out some different apps, and because with StreamYard, you can like do a live and run it to different apps. So I could do YouTube, TikTok, you can do all that stuff at the same time. So
You hear it all the time. We'll forgive everybody but Nicolina. That's because they're afraid of me.
That's funny. I couldn't help it, Nick. I couldn't help it, Nick. I couldn't help it. This came up. Because I didn't monetize it. If I don't monetize it, then they're not going to run ads on it. They're not going to run ads on it. Did I do a good job? I couldn't help it. I thought that was funny. I did. For sure. Something that made me laugh. It made me laugh. Yeah, I just don't run ads. I mean, sometimes I don't run ads through my stuff, so. Yeah, if you don't monetize it, then they don't run ads on it. For sure. For sure, for sure. That's just the way it is. Some people never change. That's just the way it is. Oh, but don't you believe them? For sure. I just can't believe we got all this freaking snow. Why, are you on Twitch? Act right, bitches? I don't know anything about Twitch except for, the grandkids played with their Twitch. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's going to go as it's going to go. There ain't nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. For sure. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Let's say. I love funny stuff, though. What is this? Hold on. I want to see what this is. People are crazy. People are strange when they are strangers. What is this? Hanging off the tallest skyscraper in North America. No, thank you. You're just hanging over the side? What's exciting about that? They're just hanging there. Why would you just hang there? Having a parachute and flying off of it would be more exciting. You're going to put your life at risk just to hang over the side of the tallest freaking building? The tallest skyscraper. 116 stories up. With just a harness. All right, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. All right. I guess I'm going to get ready to get off here. My OCD is saying I have 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Sad, sad, sad. So, no, like I said, I haven't got an email yet. I don't know what they're going to do. I am not going to, you know I did nothing wrong, so they'll get it figured out eventually. They will figure it out eventually. Life is going to move on. Nothing I can do to change it. So, I mean, don't know. I don't know. We're just going to keep on trucking. But yes, I am going to have to make sure that I do content so they'll run ads. And so if I do a live or something and I monetize it, just, please, if you come into chat, just be respectful about how you say different words and stuff. What? Wow, Poppy, that sucks. That really sucks. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I really don't even see. This is crazy. This is freaking crazy. Maybe I'll try to go outside in a little bit and maybe we'll live stream it. I don't know. We'll see. But you guys just make sure you come over and hang out and, like my stuff or whatever. If you have a suggestion on something that you'd like for me to talk about, please holler at me and let me know. For sure. For sure. We'll be glad to do it. If I pop on a couple different times a day, you guys don't, you don't have to feel like you got to be here every time I go live. I am going to definitely start trying to throw some videos and, clips out. That I think that would help a lot. So, for sure. Here's a song for us. This is how I feel. This is how I feel, y'all. For sure. Perfect song. Perfect song for us over here. I don't know. I'll get my shit together for sure. Krista Pike from Tennessee. Yes, I will pull that up, ma'am. I will pull it up while I'm playing this song. Oh, yes, I actually seen this article. I actually read a couple articles on this. Tennessee's execution of Krista Pike would make her the first woman to be executed in the state in over 200 years. In an order dated September 30th, 2025, Tennessee Supreme Court set an execution date for Krista Pike, the only woman on Tennessee's death row. If her execution proceeds as scheduled on September 30th, 2026, Miss Pike will be the first woman executed in the state in more than 200 years, and the only person executed in Tennessee for a crime committed at age 18, 19, or 20 in the modern death penalty era. Wow. Yeah, there was more than her involved. In 1995, Miss Pike, then just 18-year-old, joined with 2 other teens in unaliving a 19-year-old girl by the name of Colleen Slimmer, who Miss Pike knew from Knoxville, from a Job Corps, okay? From a Job Corps. She was the only one of the 3 to be capitally charged. And if I remember correctly, she was the one that had a weapon that she had gotten from her job with the Job Corps, right? She had a boyfriend named Tadaryl Shipp, who was 17 at the time. He received a life sentence for his participation, and he will be eligible for parole in 2025, November of 2025. Wow. So she's set to be executed in, what'd I say, September? And he's up for parole in 2025. The third teenager involved is a Shadola Peterson. She was 19 at the time. She testified against Miss Pike and Mr. Shipp, and she received probation. Probation. Wow. According to court filings, by the time Miss Pike joined the Knoxville Job Corps at 18, she had already endured a lifetime of trauma and abuse. She was exposed to alcohol in utero, which severely damaged the area of her brain that regulates impulses and behavior. She was born into poverty and neglect. Court records show that she crawled around through piles of dog stool all over the house as a baby. Court records also noted that as a child, she was AR'd multiple times, was dependent on alcohol and marijuana by the age of 12, and attempted to unalive herself several times as a teenager. I am going to stop that there. That is a situation that I want to cover by itself. So we shall do that, my friends. I don't think I'll be coming on the rest of today. So this is going to be something I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Also, I will do the update on the Jennifer and Adriana Wicks. I wish the sister would have came back and talked to me, but that was a whole, you know, that I don't even know how to describe what happened with me even talking about that case. I started to talk about it. There was another creator who I'm not sure what happened, but the sister never contacted me again. So the first part of that is very interesting. If you guys want to go check that out, that's in there. So, but no, don't hate on me when I have to start monetizing my stuff and we don't get as cray-cray over here, okay? My thing is, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to be myself. And, you know, that's just the way it's going to be for sure. No, don't worry about it. For sure. For sure. Don't worry about it. They'll get it taken care of. They will get it taken care of. They know. I've talked to them. I was just chatting with someone from YouTube yesterday. So they'll get it figured out and they'll let me know. I mean, as long as nobody is paying, you know, I'm not worried about it. The thing about it was that it was, I mean, to be real, having members, even, you know, that helps me every month. It really does. But if I don't have, my main concern was making sure that people weren't paying for something that YouTube wasn't allowing me to have. Right? I hope so too, Flies. What hurt me, and I want people to understand this, what really hurt me was the fact that, you know, they were like, yeah, somewhere they assumed that my channel had been made for kids or whatever. And when I say that I check that all the time, It's just a habit of me to check that. So, and make sure. And I'm like, out of all the people for that to happen to, it happens to me. The person who tries really hard not to do things like that. For sure. So, I don't know. Like I said, I had my moment. It was a one and done. I ugly cried. I absolutely did ugly cry. I've only ugly cried a couple times on my channel. I remember one time I ugly cried was because no, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I can put it on my about page. Just stick it in my description where it says 18 plus. But if I have that specified on YouTube, I shouldn't have to do that every time. But hey, not a big deal. Not a big deal. It will get figured out one way or the other. One way or the other. Oh, yeah. Was when Finds Ryan's Truth and his wife were out looking for a missing child, and they thought it would be funny to act like they were digging in a barrel of shit. I ugly cried then. I was so upset about that. Very upset about that. So, I'm telling you, people don't understand what some of these now, I don't think it's as bad anymore in the Summer Wells community. People stabbing each other in the back, and they wanted to be the supreme channels covering Summer Wells or whatever, and they were doing and saying a lot of shit about each other and stuff just to try to one up the other one, and that's just the way it was. That's the way it was. I don't think it's as bad anymore, and you can find it anywhere. You can find it anywhere. they were saying all kinds of shit about each other. For real. For real, for real. But I want to do a live where we're checking out the clip channels too. For sure. For sure, for sure. I have a lot of cases where the mothers have tried to sell their kids for $5. For sure. What the heck is this? Hang- Oh my gosh, we gotta check this out. Lord help us. Yeah, I don't really mess with AI at all. But then again, you never know. All right, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is KETV News Watch 7. I will pop the link in for sure. For sure, for sure. Listen to this.
An animal shelter in Blair says the head of a national fundraising tour berated their volunteers in a moment caught on video.
But the founder says emotions ran high, and tonight he's apologizing. KETV News Watch 7's Quinicia Fraser speaks with both sides about the moments that led to a fundraiser being canceled.
Wow.
The shelter staff says the incident happened in their small lobby, and it was all caught on this camera.
I want you to send her a text, and I want you to tell her that.
The staff at Jeanette Hunt Blair Animal Shelter says that's the voice of Chris Rotunda.
He said, I want you to send her a text and tell her I said to fuck off.
Founder of Jordan's Way.
Oh, it's not just me flies? Who else have they started going after? I mean, I guess if I'm one of those good creators. Don't answer that. Do not answer that, lady.
He comes in, does live streaming with a lot of different volunteers, highlights the animals, and he takes a percent of the profits, and the rest of that goes to our shelter.
Jenny Erickson, board president of the shelter, says Rotunda got upset that the shelter manager was not there for a fundraising event Wednesday due to medical issues. Erickson says Rotunda was also unhappy about a text exchange where the shelter manager wanted to know if the event was still happening despite her absence, adding the animals were waiting.
Hang on, let's look at that text. Because I'm nosy, I want to see the text. Show me the text. Oh, come on, find the text for me. Here it is. Let me turn closed caption off so we can see it. I'll be able to get my computer in an hour, dealing with personal medical issues. Let me know if this can continue as planned. The animals are there waiting for it. And my volunteers and staff say that other volunteers are rolling in, so keep me updated. I'll look in my emails for contracts. He said, Rachel, the animals are waiting, yes. We are there so we can highlight animals and conduct a fundraiser. However, we do ask for volunteers and other things to be available. And they just are not. That comment was completely not necessary. Chris travels day after day to help shelters and rescues to continue highlighting and showcasing as many animals as possible. The lady says it wasn't meant to be rude. Why would that be rude? He's getting a percentage of it. A painting channel? A flippin' painting channel? Yeah, you've talked about the crochet channels before. That one crochet channel, didn't they get swatted? They got swatted or something.
Adding the animals were waiting.
You tell that pimple face mother.
I was expecting the.
What? You tell that pimple-faced? What? Dude, you tell that pimple-faced MFer I said to F off. Why would the manager necessarily need to be there? If there was someone else there that was going to step into her situation. So, is that what made him mad?
Expecting the, let's get this party started. And then he started dropping the F-bombs.
Cheryl Stevens says she's the volunteer Rotunda was speaking to in the video.
I was shaking in my boots.
Friday, Rotunda posted this apology on Facebook and had...
Dude. Now you want to go on an apology tour? I don't know about that. It sounds like you kind of lost your shit. Over what? Why would you? I mean, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it, Flies?
This to say in a Zoom interview with KETV.
I'm not making it right, making excuses. I'm not here for that. What I'm saying is my side, why it got to that point. I was at a fundraiser that nobody knew about. I was at a fundraiser that we were scrambling to make something happen, and that's not how we do our job. That's not how we do it.
He says he also apologized in person, but that wasn't caught on camera.
I had a snap in judgment. I had a moment. And after 7 years, emotions run high in animal welfare. That was caught on tape.
That's not how we do things in Nebraska. That's not how we do things in animal rescue.
After all of this, the Jeanette Hunt Blair Animal Shelter says they will not be working with Jordan's Way in the future. Reporting in Blair, Quenisha Fraser, KETV News Watch.
Jordan, they're not working with you no more. It sounds like he's a creator that, uses his platform to go around to different animal organizations, and he maybe videos a lot of the things like that, and they were not ready. PG's little girl, change your name, lady. I ain't gonna call you that. Why would you want to be anybody's little girl like that? For real. For real. Hey, why, I don't understand. I get kind of lost on, I don't know. I always try to just stay in my lane, but I don't understand doxing people and stuff like that. What's the enjoyment out of that? What is the end result that people want out of doxing people? And I don't get it. I don't get it. Jordan Way got mad. He didn't. Yes, he should have went to Burger King. Yes. Should have went to the Burger King. For real. For real. Freaking weird. Weird, weird. Let's just pop through here. Oh, Magic Mike. Magic Mike. I ain't gonna show you guys. I'll get in trouble. Oh, there was a TikToker. I was gonna talk about that too. For sure. Okay, what is this? I don't even know, you guys.
So
What-
embarrassing story.
I don't know. I'm just sharing things with you. So I'm not sure what this is about, but we're getting ready to find out. We are.
Behind bars, this man took a toolbox to the face. Police say a hero hit him because he was attacking a child at a bus stop.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John.
That's right. If you see somebody doing something to a child, this guy was like, let me get the toolbox. Let me get this toolbox. Let me put a hurting on this dude with this toolbox. A toolbox is heavy. It's got heavy tools in it.
Brown, the man stepped in after he says he saw the suspect choking that child. Fox 35's Manny Martinez
What?
is live in DeLand tonight. So, Manny, that suspect also had a knife.
And John, that only adds to the urgency here in this case for the Good Samaritan. That hero hit the suspect twice with that toolbox, held him down on the ground until police showed up. And after all of this, police say the boy did have a cut to a finger, but was not seriously hurt.
Here's the link to that.
He's
guys.
bandaged, all scraped and bruised. DeLand police say this homeless man, Christopher Schwabel, attacked a kid who was just waiting at a school bus stop. Knife in hand, police say Schwabel was choking the child. A Good Samaritan driving by saw it happen, recognized the boy, turned around, and grabbed a toolbox from his car. Police say the Good Samaritan whacked the suspect with that toolbox. The arrest report says Schwabel told the Good Samaritan he stopped that man in his path.
That's just crazy. I mean, I'm glad we have citizens that...
It was a child at a bus stop, you guys. A child at a bus stop. He didn't even know the child. He's homeless. You want to see it? Okay, I'll find it.
I buy and help
I'll find
others
it,
out.
Happened around 8:30 Tuesday morning at the corner of North Spring Garden and Clear Lake on DeLand's west side.
I knew something was going on because there was a ton of sirens, and I looked out the end of the road,
Wow,
and there was
that's
a truck there, and an
crazy.
ambulance, and 3 or 4 cruises, and my dogs were howling.
Court records show the suspect was arrested last month on a charge of indecent exposure. Prosecutors dropped the case just last week, and the homeless suspect walked out of jail a free man after 3 weeks behind bars. The neighbor closest to the corner told us he sees homeless people on this busy road all the time, and sometimes in his neighborhood.
It makes me want to move. I don't want to live around that. I mean, I got my daughter and my wife. It's just scary,
Wow.
man. You don't want to live around that stuff.
No doubt. That's crazy. A homeless man just came up to a bus stop and decided they were going to harm a child. That's nuts. All right, hang on, flies. I'll see if I can find it. Since you want to see it, I might as well show it to you. I might as well. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see, girl, if I can't find it for you. Oh, here we are. I am going to say this is for definitely 21 and older. Okay. All right. This is for you, flies. You better be watching it too. For sure. All right. Here we go. Should I play the music? This is with Channing Tatum. Britain's Got Talent, so they're not going to get completely naked. Let me share the link. I will share the link. All right. Hey, I could be a Magic Mike announcer. Welcome, ladies. Hang on to your hats. Take a seat. Enjoy what is about to be shown to you here. Hey, Abby. Oh, yeah. This is the light version. Chuck a buck, chuck a buck, chuck a buck. Uh-oh. Trigger one and this is crazy. This is the rated PG version. PG. Not her. Not PG. Parental guidance warning. Whatever you want to call it. It is crazy but fascinating. Now, if you go and see a Magic Mike show, you are going to be able to see these guys' booty. Okay? I'm sure they wear, you know, not all of their clothes. They take off their clothes. But they can dance. Whoop, whoop. Trigger warning, cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. Woohoo! There you go. Look at them men. I bet they make big bucks. I bet you they do. I can just almost guarantee you. Yeah, there's something else. Yes, Channing Tatum is the one who is the big kahuna in the Magic Mike business for sure. He was a stripper for a short period of time. Thank you, Channing Tatum, for giving us old ladies something to look at besides snow and ice today. We appreciate it. A lot of time and a lot of practice. I believe they're doing a lot of shows in Vegas right now. For sure. For sure, for sure. Look at this crazy shit. Look at this crazy shit. We are just, like I said, I'm not monetizing this, so we're just going to watch a bunch of stuff and And this is nuts. I will share the link with this too. I just need to start putting a lot of these cases on my community tab. This is crazy.
Surveillance video sent to us by a neighbor at 2:07 p.m. Saturday afternoon. You see two small boys on bikes talking with someone. Neighbors tell us it's the homeowner, and she has a complicated relationship with those who live near her.
Lately, it's been getting worse. I guess as her mental illness gets worse, her brain gets worse. So she starts doing crazier things. Just this morning, she was stealing things from her yard guy's truck and was vandalizing their vehicle.
That complicated relationship exploded today. In that home video, we see the two boys leaving after a neighbor shoos them away. But just 10 minutes later, they're back. The younger one wearing oversized blue gloves, the older boy black gloves. The older boy can be seen pulling something out of his pants, charging the woman inside her garage and fleeing heartbeats later as she falls to the ground. They leap back on their bikes and roll away.
Never did any of us ever think that it was going to be kids from the neighborhood that come and attack her.
Neighbors say because of the woman's fragile mental state, her family checks on her regularly. Law enforcement say shortly after the stabbing, her brother came by and found her. She was life flighted to a hospital and went into surgery in critical condition.
Oh my gosh.
Her brother came and checked by just to check up on her. He checks on her daily. At that point, he just came at the right time. He opened the door and saw that she was stabbed.
Just blocks away, only ABC 13 was there as the sheriff's department investigated outside a second home. At one point, a deputy walks a small boy from the patrol car into the house.
I remember this.
Deputies could not say if this is where the boys live. They did say they are from the same neighborhood.
Now,
I remember
so
this.
these kids have the ability to do that. Do we need to start watching the kids around here? My mom is about to live by herself, so that's also the concern now too. So
I'm Liliana.
I remember that. I remember that. It just brings back the newest case. I remember, sticking in my mind, and I talked about it over here, was the 8, 9, and 10-year-old that took a little 5-year-old autistic girl into a field where they assaulted that little girl like you guys wouldn't believe. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Did you guys hear about the little boy that he was attacked by a shark and he passed away? So sad. So sad. There's just so many different cases. Too many, y'all. I still got to finish Tim Mullins too, so I hope you guys do come over and hang out. This fucking pisses me off. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Wow. Fucking. How many fucking times? Let me just block this shit. Wow. Let me say this. If you fucking tell somebody don't email you anymore, What do you think they should do? Don't email anymore. Don't. Don't do it. I'm not even going to say your name because I'm not giving you the time of day anymore. Stay over wherever the fuck you are and do your thing, but leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yes. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. For sure. For real, for real. Fucking crazy, isn't it? It's like... people that cover these missing children's cases, some of them are just, I don't even know how to describe them at all. Hey, Night. Yeah, you are late, girl or guy. I've never asked you if you're a girl or guy. It's okay. I don't need to know that. You are just welcome to hang out over here. For sure. I mean, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. For sure. All right, we're counting down 5 minutes. Anybody got anything they want to say? Me too, Night. I'm an old lady too. People have called me old lady. People have called me a hag. People have called me all kinds of things. But I am. I'm just an older lady who likes to hang out with my people that I consider my friends on YouTube and talk about all kinds of things. For sure. For sure, for sure. I'm sure everything will, you know, it's like this. Either it will work out in my favor or I just won't be allowed to have members. But I can tell you, I appreciate my members. I really do. And, you know, when I get my members back, I am going to definitely start making a lot of content just for my members. So not just, you know, I'll make content for everybody, but we'll be doing some really special things for members when and if I get them back. So, but I'm going to be here regardless. Like I said, I'm going to be buckling down and, you know, I'm going to have to just, when I put certain things out, I'm, you know, definitely just going to have to monetize it because it does help. It really helps. It really helps me a lot. It really does. So, you know, people can say or whatever they want to about me, my channel, my life. You know, a lot of those people who want to act like they know about other people's lives have never had to live a life of the person, you know, that they feel the need to, you know, discuss. They've never had to live a life like that. So sometimes when people don't live, you know, sometimes when people never have had to live a certain way, they're very ignorant on individuals who have had to live a certain way, right? if you haven't been through certain things yourself, you're not going to understand it. And a lot of people, you know, like I said, it's just a type of ignorance. I'm not saying people are stupid, don't get me wrong. It's just a type of ignorance that, you know, they have towards certain things that other people have lived through. Bottom line. All right, 1 minute counting down. Let me give you my spiel. Please feel free to come over and hang out. I appreciate you guys so much. No doubt about that. Be kind to people. You never know what somebody's going through. And be you, do you. Have a great night. And like I said, I'm going to be getting busy. If I'm talking about something that maybe someone's not interested in, just please come back another time. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to be able to talk about what everybody wants. And so if you're interested, stick around. If you're not, then just please come back when we're talking about something that you are interested in. We are going to just keep talking about different things. I don't want to be like stuck in a you know, specific, I don't know if you want to say genre or not. We will talk about missing and exploited children. We will cover different true crime cases. We might even, you know, find something that somebody on YouTube's talking about and, you know, go over maybe something that's going on the YouTube streets, for sure. That's always fun to do. That is always fun to do. So, but no, getting off here, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I will keep you updated on what is going on with the memberships and stuff. But I'm glad YouTube sent out all those emails telling people that their memberships were on hold. So there shouldn't be any questioning on someone having $1.99 taken off of their, you know, their statement or whatever. Because if that happens, it's not Remain Calm, it's YouTube. So I am absolutely, I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. All right, be you, do whatever you want. I mean, we're all grown-ass adults. So I am going to get off here, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Hey, Luna. Luna. You too, Abby. Definitely, everybody stay warm and safe. Poppy, I hope your electricity finally comes on. Oh, thank you, Wee. Thank you. Yeah, you are late, Luna, because I'm getting off here. Have a good night, everybody, and I will catch you next time. I promise that when I schedule anything, I will give everybody plenty of notice before I go live. So, okay. Peace out, everybody.